After ovary comes the another part of the female reproductive system, that is fallopian tube, which is also known as uterine tube or oviduct. Definitely the name suggests that such a structure would be in the form of tube-like, which is about 10 cm long. The main function of this fallopian tube is transportation of ova from ovaries to uterus. Thus, during the fertilization process, this transportation of from the ovaries takes place with the help of fallopian tube. This fallopian tube consists of a funnel-shaped open end which is known as infundibulum or oviductal funnel. It is through this funnel with the help of which transportation of ovaries containing ovum occurs towards the uterus during the fertilization process and thereby the process of ovulation occurs. This structure, that is oviductal funnel, it remains close to the ovary but is not attached towards it. That thus no attachment occurs between the oviductal funnel and the ovary. There occurs a little space between them. As it can be seen from the figure of female reproductive system, the ovaries consist of a structure or which is followed through it from a tube-like structure known as fallopian tube, at the end of which a funnel, that is oviductal funnel, occurs, which is not directly attached to the ovaries but remains a space between. It is through this oviductal funnel or infundibulum that the process of ovulation is carried out. About once a month, the ovum is released from the ovary. Near the infundibulum of the uterine tube, that is the fallopian tube. Such a process of releasing of ovum towards the infundibulum is known as ovulation. It is through this that the fertilization process is carried out. And so, if fertilization occurs in the uterine tube, then the ovum from the uterine tubes joins from both the sides to the uterus. That is, in this manner the transportation of ovum from the ovaries to uterus occurs through the uterine tube. Thus this was all about the uterine tube. Now let us start with another structure, that is uterus. Thus, following fallopian tube occurs another structure known as uterus. As it can be seen from the figure, it is an inverted, pear-shaped and thick muscular structure, that is one the highlighted in purple, and is a structure that is situated between the urinary bladder and rectum. and appears to be an inverted, pear-shaped, thick and muscular structure. Here it is one that is within this structure. Menstruation, implantation of a fertilized ovum, and development of the embryo occurs, which we'll study later. The wall of the uterus is made up of three layers. First comes the innermost layer, that is endometrium. Endometrium is considered as the innermost layer of the uterus. In this region, if fertilization occurs, then the fertilized egg is implanted here where it resides for the further development. That is, the fertilized egg lies in the inner layer of the uterus. However, if the woman does not conceive, then the endometrium lining sloughs off periodically, usually after every 25 days or 28 days. That is, it ranges between 25 to 20. Thus, it is the time when the menstrual cycle occurs. Following it comes another layer, that is myometrium. This myometrium is considered as the middle layer of the uterus, which occurs in a bulky form. This layer is composed of bundles of smooth muscle, It is this layer which plays an active role during the delivery of a baby. Thus, the myometrium layer of uterus plays an important role during the baby delivery and provides support to it. Then comes the final, that is third and the outermost layer, that is epimetrium. This layer, as the outermost hard layer of uterus. As described early in the figure, the distal narrow end of the uterus is called cervix, which remains attached to the vagina. Thus cervix can be considered as a which helps in connecting uterus to the vagina.